But what's going on? How are we doing, people in the live chat? What's been going on the last few days? This was the week that your party imploded further into oblivion. I don't know if you saw that recently. Another guy walked out on them today. I think Corbyn and Sultana are still arguing amongst each other, aren't they? So that's going on. The Telegraph, Daily Telegraph, the Tory graph, some people call it. They took a break from wanting to take away free school meals for infants and ignoring school ceilings falling in with rack concrete to pretend that pro-trans programming is what is an urgent threat to child safety. It's, forget the other stuff. It's pro-trans and LGBTQ plus programming that is of urgent concern to the Telegraph. So that's been fun. Trump signed off the release of the Epstein files. Ooh. But he signed off the release of the files, the documents that he had already ordered his DOJ to open investigations on, which probably means, they can't comment on a live investigation. Like, it probably means anything juicy, anything that's sort of remotely connected to him or people who he thinks he might be connected to, hashtag Bubba, will probably get held back or heavily redacted. So that's good, isn't it? Hooray for transparency. Hooray for women and girls. It was also the week this week that the dam appears to have maybe burst open on Keir Starmer from a couple of directions. We had one deselected guy. He was formerly an elected Labour member of Parliament, but then he got deselected, I think, by Starmer's actual administration. Don't quote me on that. And then he sort of defected to the Greens. I think that was yesterday. Today we've had a still in place, not deselected MP, Labour MP, calling for him to piss off. She's like, put her head above the parapet. She's like, yep. Time for you to toddle off. Off you go, mate. Is what she's saying. I mean, I feel like Labour MPs who are calling for him to go, like, they should all wear like those Time's Up badges, on like interviews on Vox Pops when they get interviewed, like in the corridors of the House of Commons. They should just have like a tiny like Times. Do you remember the Time's Up pendants, little badges around the Me Too kind of time? I think that'd be quite fun. If they all wear a Time's Up badge. Change. We also had Clive Lewis, Labour MP, Clive Lewis, offering up his seat to Mayor Andy Burnham. Because if you're a mayor, right, of a city, you can't also be a Labour MP, which means you can't challenge the current Labour leader. So a lot of people want Andy Burnham to be the next Labour leader. He's northern, he's a bit more salt of the earth. They think that he's sort of more left-leaning and progressive, and so he would resonate more with lefties, with the workers. And so Clive Lewis was saying, why don't you have my seat? I'll gladly step aside, like for the good of the party, for the good of the country. I could step aside and you can just slide into my seat, so to speak, and then that'll make it easier for you to launch your leadership challenge against the current leader and, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So that's all been, it's getting a bit real, because you got the right of the party over here who are, busy talking tough on everything, busy throwing out Tory and reform-like policies, attacking asylum seekers. And then you got the left of the party over here. And they're like, what's with the slashing benefits stuff? What's with the bashing foreigners and obsessing over immigration figures all of the time? Why are the blue Labour lot, people like Glasman, on Julia Hartley-Brewer now? And saying, it's really nice to be here and you're a very brave and principled woman. Why are you on Julia's show? You're Labour. What are you doing? Why is Tommy Robinson singing our praises? What the fuck is going on? Is what the left of Labour are almost certainly thinking to themselves. So that's the left and the right. And then you've got people like me and maybe some people like you in the live chats. We're just sort of over here, observing, shrugging, and thinking of ourselves like, we helped you to get in, didn't we? We voted for change. Change. We voted to safeguard democracy and ideally get some press regulation in. We voted to manage the disinformation crisis, is actually the biggest crisis that we're facing at the moment. We voted to implement, or at least consider, or at least fucking discuss proportional representation. We voted to ideally reverse Brexit. We voted to stop with the xenophobia. And you haven't really done any of that. So fuck it, Vote Green, I guess. Which still, like, even now, when I say that, I feel like a bit of a twat. To be honest with you, because before the election, we were all like, all of us in our little, activist-y group, we were all like, don't vote in a way that splits the vote. You have to cast your ballot tactically. But now it feels like, the people did their part, didn't they? The people did their part of the bargain. So if you're not gonna do yours, then the whole thing is moot, isn't it? The whole thing is pointless. If one half of the deal is just not there, you don't have a deal. Nothing's getting delivered. So what's the fucking point? Let's say we had allowed Sunak to win that last general election. The benefits slashing stuff would have definitely featured in a Tory portfolio, wouldn't it? The absence of a wealth tax also would have featured in a Sunak 2.0. The expansion of cruelty to refugees, blaming things on asylum seekers. Stop the boats was Sunak's fucking thing. That's his catchphrase. So, if Labour aren't doing the things that we voted for them to do, if they're not meeting their side of the deal, it kind of makes you think or ask, what the fuck are we doing here, lads? What are we doing? Just putting it brutally, super honest. What am I? I am a piss-taking, beer-swilling shit-talker. Is what I am. I'm mostly in it for the snark, to find material and fuel to crack jokes with. But in the rare moments that I do land a salient point, it is usually something where, like, relating to me lobbying for something that is progressive, something that's fairer or more compassionate. But it doesn't look like this lot are interested in appealing to people like me at all, does it? So, you get what you pay for, don't you, lads?